the HOA scam, and my farmyard revenge. The phone rang as I stood in my field, a sack of chicken feed in hand, staring at my hen, Clara, who clucked like she knew something I didn't. "You have 72 unpaid parking tickets," the voice on the line droned. I blinked, wondering if this was a prank. "Excuse me," I said, glancing at the open hills of my farm, miles from any pavement. "Pay the fees immediately to avoid penalties," the woman continued, her voice flat as a tax form. I scanned my boots, caked in mud, then looked out at the endless acres of Maple Grove Farm, 15 miles from the nearest suburb. I hadn't owned a car in years. My old tractor was my ride, unless Clara was joyriding into town. Someone was wildly confused or trying to fleece me. I chuckled at first. The idea of parking tickets on a farm felt like a bad sitcom. But then the letters arrived 1, 5, then a fat envelope stuffed with violations citing me for unauthorized parking, expired tags, even blocking a fire lane in a place called Sunny Meadows. A name I'd never heard. Each notice bore the same address, Pinewood Heights HOA. I mapped it and nearly spilled my coffee. It was a shiny gated community across the valley, all manicured lawns and yoga studios. No chickens in sight. I called their number, expecting to clear it up, but after bouncing between hold music and clerks, I got Darren, who swore I'd registered 3 vehicles: a blue Honda Accord, a white Chevy Malibu, and a gray Tahoe. I laughed again. "Darren, I raise chickens, not cars. You got the wrong guy." He didn't budge. "The system lists them at your address. Dispute the lien with our compliance officer." Lien. The word hit like a kick from a mule. A week later, a certified letter confirmed it. Pinewood Heights had slapped a lien on my farm for $80,000 in unpaid tickets. My land wasn't under their rule. I wasn't in any HOA-zoned agricultural area since my grandpa's day, yet they'd somehow tied my property to their domain. I needed answers. I borrowed my neighbor's pickup and drove to Pinewood Heights. At the gate, a guard in a neon vest squinted. "Here for Linda?" he asked. The name meant nothing to me. "I'm here about tickets I didn't earn," I said. He radioed, and out strolled Linda, clipboard in hand, hair sprayed stiff as a helmet, radiating suburban supremacy. "You're the farmer," she said, like it was a curse. I explained. I didn't live here, didn't own cars, had no tie to her HOA. She smirked. "Due to recent boundary expansions, your land falls under our enforcement zone." "Boundary expansions?" I echoed, stunned. She handed me a notice, non-payment risks foreclosure. I wanted to chuck her clipboard into their koi pond, but snapped a photo instead and left. My mind raced. How could an HOA I didn't join touch my farm? Was someone forging my name? I called my old friend Sophia, a lawyer who owed me for fixing her barn after a windstorm. She laughed at the notices. "You got a ticket for parking near a hydrant on Clover Lane. Know where that is?" I didn't. She pulled up a map of cul-de-sac with SUVs and a smoothie shop 20 miles away. "No way your farm's in their zone," she said, but the lien was real. Sophia dug deeper and found a zoning update filed 2 months prior by L. Marsden, complete with a fake map looping my land into Pinewood Heights reach. It was fraud, and Linda's name was all over it. Linda had redrawn boundaries, issued fake tickets, and built a paper trail to justify the lien. Since I ignored the notices, living in a barn doesn't scream, check HOA mail, she had enough to attack my property. Sophia whistled. "This isn't just petty. It's illegal." Thus began my fight, not for revenge, but for truth. I wanted Linda's scam buried. The next night, I was at Sophia's with coffee and a USB of aerial maps I'd pulled all night. My farm was nowhere near Pinewood Heights, backed by records since the 60s, yet Linda had hijacked county files to claim my land. Sophia nodded. "Someone fudged your coordinates on purpose." We called my cousin Nate, a tech wizard who lived in a van and exposed small-town scams for fun. He once hacked a mayor's email to reveal rigged bids. Nate arrived with laptops and kombucha, cracking Pinewood Heights records in 30 minutes. Every ticket, 87 in total, was manually entered by Linda, with timestamps, IPs, and fake notes like Honda idling by Clubhouse or Tahoe on trail during book club, all tied to my name. Worse, their software had a new extended zone feature added by Linda, letting them ticket outsiders. Nate smirked. "She's not even sneaky." Digging into their budget, We found Linda funneled fines to an operations fund front for an offshore account linked to a defunct nursery business. It matched another state's HOA fraud case. Linda wasn't just greedy, she was running a racket. We printed every shred of evidence, but I wanted to hit her publicly. Pinewood Heights HOA meeting was days away at their glossy community hall. Sophia and I planned to crash it not to beg, but to expose. The night before, I prepped like a general giant maps of framed liens, laminated tickets, including one claiming I parked a Tahoe in their rose garden during Tai Chi. Nate uploaded our proof to a folder dubbed Operation Henpeck. At the meeting, Linda spotted us. Her smile iced over. Residents only, she snapped. Sophia flashed the lien. You claimed his farm's yours, so he's here. Linda relented. The meeting droned on until open floor time. Sophia introduced us, citing the erroneous lien. I set up my easel, unveiling a ticket screenshot. This is when I parked a Honda at 6 a.m. By the lobby. I was feeding Clara then. Here's video. I flipped to a transfer log showing Linda's handiwork. Gasps rippled through the room. Residents whispered, some checking phones, realizing they got bogus tickets too. Linda tried to cut me off, but Sophia presented surveys, bank traces, zoning proof. A man stood up. You're ticketing non-residents? The room turned. Linda went red-faced, yelling, this is a smear. Sophia countered. Then why? While his farm board members squirmed, I leaned in. You gave me 87 tickets, Linda. I don't own a car, but I've got every lie you wrote. You dragged me into your HOA. Now I'm dragging you to court. Chaos erupted. Linda fled, tipping a cheese platter. A clip of her exit-goat cheese on her loafers hit local forums captioned, Linda's Egg Scramble. The next morning, a tow truck parked by my gate. My wheelbarrow, the driver said, showing Linda's memo to seize non-compliant transport. I laughed. That's older than your truck. One driver, recognizing me from the viral clip, ditched the job. I'm not towing farm tools, he said, tossing me a photo of Clara with a fake plate. Not a Honda. Linda was clawing back. Sophia warned she'd escalate when cornered. We countered hard, filing a harassment claim and a lien on Pinewood Heights tennis courts tied to a shaky deed. Nate unearthed a disputed property sign at their courts, infuriating Linda. She left voicemails, one ranting, you can't take our courts, you hillbilly, followed by what sounded like a juicer exploding. I upped the ante with a hen parking bash on a road near Pinewood Heights hay bales, barbecue, a band, and chickens with plates like, ticket me, Linda. Folks danced, fed a mock meter for our legal fund, and laughed. Cops arrived, but left amused, one snapping a pic with a hand muffin. Linda watched, fuming, then vanished. The bash made the news, Farmer versus HOA, the Great Hen Stand. Online, victims shared similar tickets, some from Pinewood Heights, others from afar. Sophia saw a class action chance. Nate found a revenue raisers group in Linda's logs, plotting to target random lots with ghost cars. It was a fraud blueprint. We sent everything to a federal task force. Agents visited, casual questions, sharp. One agent, Brooks, laughed at Linda's first notice. Sloppy crime, he said, citing wire fraud and tax evasion. They raided Pinewood Heights, carting out files as Linda was cuffed, yelling about zoning rights. A neighbor's video of Linda's court loss went viral. The board imploded. 3 quit. 1 was nabbed for RV ticketing schemes. Malene vanished. Tickets voided. The feds called it a historic HOA bust. I called it justice. At a bonfire, we burned the citations using Linda's clipboard as kindling. Neighbors brought signs, uncluckable, and chicken treats. We laughed, but I knew the system that birthed Linda still ticked. HOAs thrived on silence. I vowed to fight on. A new letter arrived not from Pinewood Heights, but another HOA, claiming $8,000 for fake cars, signed L. Marsden. Same scam, new name. Sophia's jaw dropped. Nate hacked their portal, finding Linda's email tied to 4 HOAs, all using her software to fleece owners. Victims piled up. A man ticketed for driving through. A woman liened for her cabin's gravel lot. Nate decrypted a file. 50 properties targeted mine first. Coded stubborn. It was a crime web. We sent it all to the feds. Agents returned, raiding more offices. Linda's network collapsed. Board members flipped. Her accounts froze. She took a plea, banned from HOAs forever. The lawsuit grew. Sophia filed Marsden versus Apex Systems, naming dozens across states, targeting the software and accountants who enabled Linda. Media swarmed. A news anchor, Ellie, interviewed me. Did 87 tickets spark a national case? She asked, pointing to Clara sporting a no-ticket sign. I thought it was a joke. Now, it's an FBI takedown. Comments flooded online. $900 for wrong curtains, $50 for a stray soccer ball. A senator called, proposing HOA oversight laws. I spoke at the Capitol, plain as dirt, and they listened. New rules passed. Mapped boundaries. Opt-outs. Audited software. No more fake hens ticketed. Life quieted. Nate chased a new scam. Sophia became an HOA slayer. And I fed chickens. A letter from a rights group thanked me, offering a board seat. I accepted not for glory but to shield others. I framed it beside Linda's first ticket, a reminder of how one lie unraveled the kingdom. Now, when folks gripe about HOAs, I grin. How many tickets? If they say one, I laugh. Buckle up. It gets wilder. Because I, a carless farmer, toppled a parking empire with a hen and a hunch.